this. This Tyler Perry situation. I'll be honest, and this is pretty, if you're going to talk about something that involves the $200 million sexual assault lawsuit, you should probably read into the details. But there's been text exposed. Not really anything crazy. He hasn't said anything like, oh, I'm going to break that booty back. And it's all these, when you come on set, just make sure no one knows about our friendship. All that weird stuff. Now, I'll be honest. I left a comment. This Tyler Perry being sued by a random actor or whoever on the Oval. He's being sued for $260 million for quote unquote SA allegations. I don't want to negate, because this is where the insensitivity part comes in. Let's just say everything that he is being accused of is true. Should he be held accountable? Yes. What in what world is whatever trials and tribulations of this person is $260 million worth what you are accusing them of? What scenario should you be rewarded $260 million fucking dollars? There's not honestly, I don't think there's really a single scenario, unless the situation involved literally someone embezzled you, scammed you out of $260 million of your own dollars. Being this guy, I don't think he was going to make $260 million in the next 10 years or anything. So we can't even use the fact that he cost me earnings by blacklisting me from the industry. Because even if you were blacklisted from the industry, let's just be honest, your earnings wasn't going to be anywhere near $260 million fucking dollars. And I don't want to sound like a defendant for rich people, acting like rich people should just not have to pay anything about anything. But just because you have a shitload of money doesn't mean when you get accused for the same crime as someone else, you should be charged an absurd amount for every fucking thing. Tyler Perry, he's probably a billionaire, but being sued for $260 million because someone may have been sexually uncomfortable about some things you said or may have did to them, that's pretty insane. If anything, it should just be prison time if whatever's being accused really happened, or a settlement. But there's no way a say it out loud, $260 million. It's fucking absurd. And that's where, it's pretty ironic, because it is from a white guy. And it's from a Tyler Perry whose main goal for the most part is to give opportunities to black creators and stuff like that. And he decided to give this one white guy an opportunity. And then he fucked it up. He's going to ruin it for anyone. Just being honest about it. He's ruined it for the whites. Now, Tyler Perry is a divisive character. Because there are people in the black community who are not big fans of Tyler Perry because he depicts men wearing dresses, the perception of female and stuff like that, and it gives a negative caricature to men. And there is a thing where, look, let's just call a spade a spade. There is especially in cinema and history, really not just black men, but men in general, there's always ways to dehumanize us, to make us be less masculine. And once you dress up as a woman, that imagery will always be in people's head, and people will always kind of view you less than a man. Because, and it's weird, I've never actually seen Big Mama's House, and I don't think it's really affected Martin Lawrence's career. But stuff like that, I don't know if there's an inside conspiracy about making, black men be feminine and stuff like that. But in history, in the past, it's definitely been a thing in terms of just men in general. And they, where they really try to get away with men is in sketch comedy on SNL. I mean, with Kevin Hart. They had him dress, he dressed up as a woman. And people think this shit's funny. And to be honest, I've never really found men dressing up as women being, like, funny like that. Like, it can be funny. The only people that really pulled it off was Marlon and Shawn Wayans and white chicks. And the reason why it was funny is because they actually were disguised as women. Not just, you could tell it's Shawn and Marlon Wayans. And then they just put a wig on and everyone knows. And then they're like, They put on a full costume because they worked for the FBI. Like, yeah, you could probably tell it was a man and shit like that. But it wasn't like they were just putting on some wig. And I think there's a lot of criticism with Tyler Perry where the men in dresses thing, it doesn't help. And he's capitalized. And part of the reason why a lot of his money has been made off the Medea movies. And there's always going to be critics, whether it's in the black community, just community, or just people in general, where it's the thing that's made you a lot of money is dehumanizing a gender type of thing. And disguising it as humor and just entertainment. And that's the thin line between entertainment. It's entertainment until it makes people feel a little bit uneasy of what the objective of that entertainment is. If I go to a strip club, right? That's a wild thing to say. I can't remember the last time I've been to a strip club. If I go to a strip club, right? My expectation is I'm going to see some naked bitches with cheetah tattoos on their thighs and butt cheeks. That's my expectations. We're in the ATL. That's what the fuck is going to happen. All right. I don't know what happens in Indiana. I don't know what happens in, Minnesota, Minneapolis. I don't know what happens in Austin, Texas. But I know in the ATL, you're going to get cheetah tattoos, booty clapping, BBL Drizzy, BBL Drizzy, stankin'. You're going to get the good stuff. But I know what I'm getting, right? And so it's all about what your expectation is. And with Tyler Perry, now the expectation is, hey, this is the type of movies we're going to get. Did he make a deal with the devil? Did he make a deal with white America? Did he make a deal with the entertainment industry to exploit men, specifically black men, people would say, to feminize them and all that stuff, where even when people are being promoted and seen in the highest view, there's always a way we could find a way that white America, as people say, can find a way to always find a way to tear people down. Possibly, if you're an executive, if a Harvey Weinstein type of executive would look at that way, maybe. But if it's made you a shitload of money, why wouldn't you keep doing it? Is it just entertainment? Is it just, how many Medea movies you really have to make, man? That would be a fair criticism. So, I don't know. It's just interesting, But then again, let's be honest. White people, we have a national treasure. And Mrs. Doubtfire. With Robin Williams, where he dressed up as a female nanny. But the thing is, he dressed up in a costume about it. Type of thing. Or if I remember correctly, I don't know if it was like he died in actual what? I forgot the plot of the movie. Basically, you couldn't tell it was Robin Williams. So it's different. And that's the way we always write. Like, they go out of their way to make sure, like, oh, it's the people in the movie wouldn't know. Where when Kevin Hart dressed as a woman in his sketch, it's pretty obvious. It's just Kevin Hart wearing a dress and a wig type of thing. So, whatever. That's probably taboo to talk about.